bro, because I come from an era where I didn't mind 15 to 18 songs. I didn't. Like, I didn't mind an album. I didn't mind a double album. I didn't mind an album being an hour and a half. Like, I'm
They
locked.
were thought through hours. They were thought through
Yeah,
hours.
I'm locked in. Like, do you like interludes?
I liked them from certain artists. Like I love Drake's interludes. I love Wale's interludes.
Mm-hmm.
I love Wiz Khalifa's interludes back when he was doing mixtapes. Kanye's interludes got me really hooked back when he was doing the workout and the graduation. So, the interludes, it depends on who it is. I think Drake's interludes be better than some of his songs,
See, the pettier the interlude, the better.
And that's what Take Care is so classic.
Yeah.
Marvin's Room is a classic song.
Yeah.
Because it's super petty. Like the whole.
Yes. The pettier the interlude, the better the song.
That's a tweet.
Without a doubt, man. Lucky Lefty Podcast for the Culture Friday. Special guest Marshall Pritchett, 2025 athlete. He's going to be jumping on with us shortly. He is the son of ND legend Wes Pritchett, member of the 1988 National Championship team, middle linebacker. And he was on with us about a month ago and had some great stories. So you can check out that previous podcast on YouTube as well. So I can't wait to talk to Marshall, talk about his camps, his visits this summer, his visit to Notre Dame. I'm jealous, right? Let me tell you why I'm jealous. I didn't get the opportunity to play lacrosse, bro. Like, you have to understand, inner city Chicago, when I went to high school, it was football, basketball, baseball. We had a hockey team, and I could actually skate, but I wasn't too keen on losing my teeth. I'm not for that. Don't bang me into the board. Don't push me down. You push me down, and I got a stick in my hand. That stick might become a weapon real fast. So hockey wasn't for me. But
yeah, I would get too mad. People just checking you with the stick and
that's for no reason. Like, I don't even have a puck.
Yeah, it's like if I don't have a puck, I just feel like that's you just trying to attack me, and it means a lot more.
But he's a great lacrosse player. And I want to talk to him about that because I feel like lacrosse is low-key a trash talking sport. You think about it. It's really about agility. It's kind of like basketball on grass. And I think, man, they probably talk trash.
Is it like basketball on grass?
Yeah, because you passing it. You run offense. It really could be more like, you could view it as hockey more so because it's a net and a goal.
A hockey mixed with soccer.
I think the moves they use are very reminiscent of basketball with the kind of the crossovers, and so we'll get into that with him just a little bit. Question of the day: off the beaten path, bro. Right? Because we're going to get to some Notre Dame topics a little bit later. I saw a recent interview with Neo. It's for the Culture Friday.
Neo.
And Neo said he's already told his boys, if you see my wife doing something, don't even tell me. I need to know what you think about that, LL Nation. I need to know what you think about that. Would you tell your people? Would you tell your boys, your girls? Like, if you see my guy, if you see my man, out there wilding out, don't even tell me. And I understand the concept, right? Because the concept is, people rush in and give you information, and ultimately the decision to be with each other is between those two people regardless. And if they stay together, you don't want to be the person that is looked upon as the snitch. You know what I'm saying? So
you don't want to claim that.
Yeah, I understand the concept, but I don't know about that. I might say if you got information, you better make sure you confirm it before you tell me.
I don't know. I think I'm more on Neil's side, man. I think it's better like
Really?
because if you was meant to see it, it'll be apparent enough for you, you know. And chasing things, I think, would be outside of the focus of the relationship if you chasing stories and doing the most.
Mm.
Because if it was that serious, it would be something where it would be in your face where you would have to address it. But
Okay.
addressing secondhand sources is just tough, man.
Let me give you an example, right? This is a true life story. We spin it different here. It's true life, right? My younger brother, and he doesn't have a problem with me saying this story, dude. My younger brother was engaged. And his fiance called my crib. This is when I had a house phone. I don't have a house phone anymore. This is when I actually had a house phone. She called my house phone and asked for another dude. And when I said, what? And she realized and recognized my voice, she hung up. Should I have told him?
The hanging up would have had me. I'd be like, why?
Why you hang up?
The hang up would have had me. If it was just like I'm, whoopty, any explanation, but the hang up was like, wait a minute. How'd you know it was her though?
What you mean?
So you recognized the voice.
Dude, it was caller ID, the voice.
Oh, it was
It was everything, bro. Like I knew who it was because
it should have been a FaceTime.
I'm picking up the phone ready to say hello.
Such and such. Like
Yeah, because her and the missus at that point in time were tight.
They were friends, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm expecting to be like, man, she's not here. Hit on the cell.
Right.
No, but I get, man, I speak to another dude's name. Like, word?
Word.
So in my mind, I'm like, okay. And I'm waiting for the explanation, like, oh, Shaun, man, my fault.
Text, quick call back.
No. I'm just waiting to hear, man, bro, I'm sorry. I'm thinking about, I'm trying to call this person, man, and forgot, mixed up the phone numbers, da. Nothing. I'm like, hello?
And this your brother, though.
This is my brother. Real talk. Yeah. They're engaged. They are engaged, bro. And it took me, I battled with it for like 2-3 days, bro, until I finally was like, man, I got to tell this dude. I have to. I got to tell him.
See, but the thing is, you should have talked to her first.
Nah, no need for me to talk to her.
I'd have been like, man, you got to explain this because I don't want to run to my brother. Like you said, you said if a person told you something, you told them that they better make sure that it's right.
Right? I mean, if you're gonna go that route, if you want them to tell you
where it was right, where her to just be like, look, before I be doing what I should do as a brother, we need to talk about this for real. Because it's no sweat on my back for really saying nothing, but I know he care a lot. And you just gotta clear it up for me so it don't leave me. If that's the case, because that's why I'd be like, I don't even want to, that's none of my business. Because I would have to do the confirmation because I can't sit with it, have kind of being like, because what you gonna tell your brother? Oh, she hung up. That was weird. See, that's the problem.
See, that was the beautiful thing. My decision was to, because I told the missus first, right?
That's a good idea.
And the missus is like,
it's a good idea.
She's like, word? She's like, what did she say? I'm like, she didn't say nothing. She hung up.
She hung up.
He's like,
Now, did she know the guy that she was asking for, or did you was it?
No.
It's a random name.
Just a random first name. So ultimately, my decision was, this is a discussion they need to have.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell him.
Oh, wait, you told him?
Yeah, I told him. Absolutely, I told him.
That is your brother, though.
Told him. But see, this is what happened. When they had the discussion, he was able to decipher whether or not she was lying.
Well, you already put the bean out there.
No. I didn't put a bean out. I said, yo, I'm just telling you this because it was weird. Like your girl called, asked for another dude. And then when I said hello, she hung up.
That's the
You know
part.
what I'm saying?
That's the part that gets
I'm
you.
like, it's real tricky. I'm like, but man, that's on you, whether or not you want to bring it up. He said when he asked who the person was, and he said, dude, you know when the person you're with is lying. Like, when they hiding something when they're lying. And he was like, I could tell that she was lying. And it ended up.
She knew it was coming because that's why she didn't call you. Because she knew that it was like, I'm fucked up.
But the easy thing would have been to call back and say, yo, bro, that's my fault. I was trying to call somebody else to deal with this. She could have said I was trying to call the dude that's doing this for the wedding. And
it could have been anything, but no call back.
And I was like, and I would have been like, cool.
Yeah, because it's like, I don't even want to try to act like it's something different.
Right.
You can give me nothing.
Right. Now, and of course, they ended up not getting married. So
it's for the best. Man.
Yeah. I'm glad I said something. I'm just happy I said something. So today's show, we're going to have Marshall Pritchett coming up in a few moments. But then we're going to talk Notre Dame. Best units, the top 3 units, right? Then we're going to talk about the best outcomes for every unit. And when we talk about the best outcomes, we're not talking about something just over the top. We spin it different, but we keep it real. And the realistic expectations and outcomes for each unit, right? And then we're going to talk about the failures of the Notre Dame football team in big games. And the motivation for this, bro, I don't know if you ever watched this, but I encourage everyone to go watch the 1995 Notre Dame Ohio State game. This Ohio State team was, bro, I'm talking about Shaun Springs, Orlando Pace, Eddie George, Mike Vrabel, Luke Fickell, Bobby Hoying, Terry Glenn, Buster Stanley, stacked, right? The 95 Notre Dame team was like, it was one of Lou's okay teams. They walked into the horseshoe. And I'm glad they showed this game on the Big Ten Network. They walked into the horseshoe. And with 8 minutes left in the third quarter, Notre Dame was up 20-14 and was getting the ball via a punt. They had control. Randy Kinder was running all through this Ohio State defense. Everybody go watch the game if you get a chance. I mean, Lou Holtz came in, the game plan, the physicality, like all this talent on the other side, and they just were like, yeah, we hear all that, but we're about to punch y'all in the mouth. And they muffed the punt. And from that point on, the game was a wrap. Everything changed. Ohio State had all the momentum, and I'm talking about halfway through the third period. Like, the game plan was there. And you really go back and look to these big games, no matter what the score is, Notre Dame's usually hanging around in the game. And you can always bookmark one thing that happens.
Yeah.
That changes the momentum. And then for whatever reason, the mental fortitude to like recover and respond really has never been there. I think we talked about this, the Fiesta Bowl. 2005 or 2006 Fiesta Bowl. We talked about this game the other day. Notre Dame is right there. Right there. They get a fumble return from Tom Zibikowski. And for no reason, they reverse it. Notre Dame had the momentum, would have had the lead. They reverse it. Ohio State goes on to win. Man, I'm telling you, because what we're really going to point out today is like even though there is a disparity, some might say, with certain teams like Alabama and Georgia from a talent standpoint, right? With 5 stars and things of that nature. The one thing I know, going back and watching these games, Notre Dame physically can stand up to these teams and compete, bro.
Yeah.
I'm talking about especially in the trenches. We might not have the 5 stars, but gosh darn it, I can sit here and honestly say, I don't believe a Notre Dame team walked in scared.
No.
In a big game.
Except 2012 championship game. But that's just being real. But other than that, that was 10 years ago.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I don't know if that team was really scared. I think when they finally got a chance to see Alabama up close, it was kind of like, oh, this is different.
That sounds scared to me.
No, I think from a confidence standpoint, I think they were good. I think they felt like they were a good team. They knew they were a good team.
I think you're talking about the 2017, the year we beat Clemson. That year, I think you're talking about that team's confidence going into the playoffs and all of that. But 2012's confidence, no. They saw how big them boys was like, oh, yeah, we in for it.
But you have to realize.
It didn't take but the first 3 plays of Alabama to let us know that, okay, maybe this is – they start running up the middle like that?
No, boy, you have to – hold on now. You have to remember they stuffed Alabama on the first
drive.
Play, the first drive.
Yeah.
They stuffed Alabama on the first drive. So physically, they're like, okay. I'm thinking, me personally watching the game, I'm thinking like, okay, cool. That's what we're worried about, right? We're worried about Eddie Lacy and them coming out, running the ball down our throat.
Yeah, for sure.
And they stuffed them on the first drive, and you say to yourself, okay.
But then we saw what their defense on the other side was looking like. And we was like, damn, we can't even, because usually you stuff their defense. I mean, you stuff their offense. You're thinking, like, okay, we just need a couple plays together and we can hang in there.
Yeah.
But then they kick it to us and we 3 and out faster than they 3 and out. We like, oh,
yeah.
We're the advantage.
Yo, man, you look. I might give you a little bit on that, just a little bit. But it's very rare that Notre Dame, once again, just to reiterate, we'll get to it because our special guest is ready to join us. Notre Dame is rarely walking into these big games, and this is when I don't like the nice national media spin on this. Notre Dame's not walking into these big games scared of Clemson, scared of Alabama. Like, if they're just better teams, they're better teams.
They're just better teams.
If they have a better quarterback, they have a better quarterback.
But
let's not get
scared,
right?
To walk in there, no.
But man, like you said, it's something that can only be changed from a narrative standpoint by Notre Dame getting wins. Lucky Lefty podcast. We spin it different. Thank you guys for joining us today. We're pleased to welcome to the Lucky Lefty podcast someone we've been trying to connect with for a while. We're so happy that we have him for a little bit of time on this Friday. It's none other than 2025 athlete. I call him athlete. Most times you see him as a wide receiver when he's going to camp, so you're watching the highlights, but he's just an all-around athlete. 4-star. Great kid. And I told you I'm jealous, and I'll tell him a little bit about this when I get him in the show. But welcome to the Lucky Lefty podcast. I want to call him Notre Dame Legacy, but I have to wait to see if he finally walks into South Bend at some point in time.
Yes,
Marshall,
sir.
welcome
Well,
into the
thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So I'm jealous of you a little bit, and maybe you can explain this to me. We were arguing or debating, what is lacrosse closer to? Is it closer to hockey or is it closer to baseball? I mean, basketball. Basketball.
I would say basketball because, like, on offense, it's 6-on-6, and like the ball movement's kind of the same thing. It's like pass, clear through. I mean, I'd say basketball. In hockey, like, there's physicality, but like not every game you're playing in, bodies are dropping. Like, you know, so I would say basketball for sure.
Now, is the shot selection similar too? Like, is there like a distance shot? I guess.
I mean,
like this, you know, like how does that work?
Yeah, I mean, like,
you guys like have to Steph Curry to the game.
I mean, any shot outside of like 12, 15 yards is kind of unreasonable. So it kind of cuts off like there. But just like basketball, isoing is a big thing in lacrosse. So that's kind of why I say basketball. Like in hockey, like I wouldn't say isoing is necessarily like the main way of scoring. So that's why I would say basketball, really.
Now, seeing that you play the wide receiver position, it seems like a perfect transition from lacrosse to that position because of the footwork, your releases, getting into your routes. Does it make it easier for you to make that transition?
Yes, sir, 100%. My first camp of the summer, Clemson, I was playing QB in the spring for my old high school, Porter Gowd. I hadn't ran routes in like 3-4 months. I show up to Clemson. I had only really been playing lacrosse. And it felt like I had gotten better at running routes. Like my releases, everything felt better. And I was like, how's that possible? I haven't been running routes. I thought about it. I played 21 lacrosse games. It's the same kind of footwork. You know, if you want to go one way, kid opens his hips, you can cut back the other. It's the same way trying to get off the line. So I would say lacrosse has 100% significantly helped me, and I'll continue to play it till I early enroll my senior year.
Do you think you'll play on the college level? Do you have interest playing on the college level?
I wouldn't say exactly. I played in 1 or 2 tournaments this summer. I love lacrosse. I've always loved it. But, you know, if it comes down to football and lacrosse, I'm picking football every day.
Yeah, where did that love for football come from outside of, you know, obviously your family, but for yourself, how did it become that number one defining factor for you? Did
we lose him?
I think
we could like,
did we lose?
You know, like we kind of, me and my older brother Boston, we bonded over at 6 and 7, 8th and 9th, and then kind of grown into the player I am now. Like he started getting offers. You kind of realize how special college football is and like the relationships you build. Like you sacrifice 4 years of your life, and like I know there's going to be ups and downs. But like you're set, like coming out of there with the relationships, the connections you build, the family you build with your teammates. I would say, I mean, I don't think there's any better college sport. And so, you know, if I have a chance to pick football, I'm picking it all day.
So what has this summer been like? We've always talked about how, and Malik has pointed out how recruiting has changed with these camps and 7-on-7 tournaments, and how the college football recruiting world is so much smaller because you might know someone that's on the West Coast that you have a relationship with from seeing them at camp, and you guys text or, you know, talk on social media, things of that nature, and just the relationships you build up. What has it been like going to places like Notre Dame and Clemson, going to camps, getting to play, meet other young guys, other athletes? What's that feeling been like for you this summer?
I had a great camp experience. All the camps I went to was awesome. I met some people that I still text to this day. I built great relationships with coaches. But coming into the summer, picking, like, I kind of tried to narrow it down to schools that had interest in me and that personally invited me to their camp. Because what I've learned from other people is, like, you don't want to go to a camp where they don't even know who you are. You'll pay this money, you'll travel up there, You'll check in and they'll put you in the C or B group, D group, I mean, whatever it is. So I kind of tried to narrow down schools I'm really interested in, schools I feel like I'd be a good fit for, and then like coaches that wanted to invite me to see me in person. So that's kind of how I chose and selected my camps this summer. And some camps you're maybe not their top guy, but at every camp I went to, I learned these like receiver cone drills, and like I was doing them earlier. I do them every day, stuff like that. It's stuff that helps you. Like if you lose a rep and then you have that coach can tell you like, hey, you broke it the wrong yard line, stuff like that. It's just, camps are so important for recruiting. And like a lot of coaches nowadays like to see you in person. They like to see you run, how you move, how you catch, your attitude, all this. So camps are very important. And like I tell all my friends, anyone that, if you really want to take college football serious and you want to play, go to camps. You never know who's watching. Even if you're at like Notre Dame camp, there could be like a VMI coach, a D2 coach, D3. Like you may not get a Notre Dame offer, but like someone's watching. So every rep at camps is important. And I hope like the younger college football world knows that. And I think people are starting to learn.
You may get in those
positions. Go ahead, Malik.
We get those positions too, going to all these camps, and these are guys that are selected. These are top camps, especially when offers are becoming on the line. What is your attitude going into it? How are you approaching these kind of camps? Because a lot of it, outside of competition, all you guys are splitting hairs to these coaches. So what are you taking into these that are getting you to stand out, or just your attitude?
I go into it like I'm a young kid, and so I would love to like be. I mean, if I'm in like South Bend and I'm going to a camp, like obviously Notre Dame's camp meant a lot more to me growing up, like a fan and all that. But I have fun. Like that's something that's really important to me when I go to these camps. Like, in between drills, you don't have to be completely like locked in. Like this rep's gonna make me or break me as a player. So I go into a lot of these camps. I have fun. That's my main goal. But I don't have like being someone with no offers, and like I know some like with the power of Twitter, you can see like if someone's coming to a camp and I know is going to be in my group that's got an offer from Notre Dame, Clemson, wherever I am. When we get to one-on-ones, anything, like my goal is to be better than them, to do whatever I'm doing better than them. So like, being someone with no offers, every rep for me is a lot more personal than someone who's maybe got 25 and at these camps. And I think what I've seen, like with the kids who have offers at camps, there are a few of them who get way too satisfied with what they already have, and they're not working at these drills. And it's almost like, how do you have offers? And then I've seen kids with offers that are hell of players, win every rep, grinders. So yeah, I would say for me and for people who are unranked, don't have stars, don't have offers, each rep, attack it as much as you can. It's a lot more personal and important for us.
So Marshall, what was your reason for deciding to transfer to Rayburn?
As I went through the recruiting process this summer, I've never really always known my position, and I grew up to my height, and I'm feeling a little more. I'm up to 200 pounds now, so I started getting invited to these stuff as the receiver, tight end. I kind of did it all this summer, whatever a coach wanted me at. And I'm reporting to spring ball, and I'm going to summer practice, and I'm still playing quarterback at my old school. And with my brother who recently tore his ACL, we had an opportunity at a school in North Georgia called Raven Gap, where he could reclassify and we would have another year to play with each other, and we could play top tier football. I'm surrounded by kids with offers. Like it's a great winning environment, great coaching. And the opportunity just seemed too good to pass on. I couldn't be more excited. I actually leave in, I think, 2 weeks. It's going to be a great season. I'm very excited.
Man, it's always good to be around elite competition. And with that being said, we know the connection between yourself and Notre Dame. We saw the video that went viral with your visit to Notre Dame and, touring the campus with your dad. Just go into the visit itself and how surreal it was for you to be on campus as a recruit with your dad where he won a national championship.
It was honestly crazy. Like, wait until June 12th kind of going through all my other camps, like, like school, like this school could have a cool campus, cool facilities, but like when we arrived in Notre Dame, like my dad made sure we got there a day early. Like you got to go to the bookstore, like got to do all this. Kind of like growing up a fan with my brothers, like always got my Notre Dame stuff on. Like when I showed up on that campus, like as a recruit and like knowing I got a chance at this, like if I play good, like I can make my dream come true, stuff like that. Like it became a lot. Everything was important. Like that camp, and like it was very personal for me. So like when we first arrived, I got to see the dome, touchdown Jesus, the church. We went and lit a candle too, which was special. And then the next day, we met with Coach Pelican, who took us on we kind of got to go to the facilities, see the meeting rooms, weight room, which is crazy, by the way. Got to see the belt they have in there, recovery room, hangout room, everything. I had never seen. I had no clue what I was going to see in those facilities, and honestly, that was really crazy to me. It's some of the best I've ever seen. And just the campus is so special. You step foot on it, and you just see you see the dome, touchdown Jesus. Just the environment in Notre Dame truly is special, and I don't think any college can ever beat that.
Yeah, for you as a recruit, Malik as a recruit, and then as a player on the team, for me just as a fan, I remember going there in March and parked on the wrong side trying to get to the press room and had to walk through the campus. And I share this with a lot of people. It's kind of like similar, I've been to Jerusalem. And when you walk the streets of Jerusalem, it's kind of like for a moment, you start walking and you realize like, yo, the people that have actually walked this same path and how impactful that is. So as I walked the campus, I started to feel that same vibe and think about all the Notre Dame greats on and off the field, whether it's academically or athletically, that walked that campus. And I started to feel like, yo, I'm in the midst of greatness, just walking this campus. So I definitely know, what you're talking about. What's your favorite Wes Pritchett story?
Oh,
what's the story
that's
you
a
always
great question. That's a great question. I've got to say the broken hand, Miami.
Right.
I to this day, he will tell me stories that I've heard 10 times. And like it's gotten to the point where I've started to recite them. Like I could tell like I'm him. But it's got to be that the broken hand versus Miami, recovering the game-winning fumble. I just think that's super cool, and that was quite the game.
How inspiring is it to have a dad like that, man? To just be there every day, be around you, you taking stuff from him as you're going through your process, seeing how he took his process and had success. How inspiring and how much of a impact does that have on even your decision for school?
It's great. Like having him next to me, and he's all every event I have, every game, every lacrosse game. He went to every basketball game growing up, all that. It's awesome to have him on my side, and it's really inspiring. I've always kind of it's always been my dream play at Notre Dame, and obviously he's a big part of that for always because he played at Notre Dame, bringing that into my life, and then my brother Lawson. Has helped a lot, everything he's accomplished, him being 16 months older than me. It's kind of pushed me to, I want to he made All-American lacrosse his freshman year, and then I come in my freshman year and it's like, I want to make All-American. Like it's stuff like that. It's like whatever he does, I want to do too. And growing up, he always pushed me to be better, and he's made me a lot better as a player, as a person. And so just with the help of them too, it's made me a lot better football player. It's helped me mentally. And it's definitely made me push, like in the hard workouts, hard conditioning. It's like kind of got to look past that and think like my goal, like what my goal is, and like the ups and downs you got to go through to get to it.
Yeah, I know your high school career is in its genesis, but up to this point, we were just talking about intimidation and going up against intimidating teams before you came on. Is there a team that you faced or a certain player that you went up against in your young career that you were like, yo, they're good? They're really good.
Last year I played a lot of started at free safety for my high school at Porter. And there was a school called Hammond who won state. They're great. We played them in the regular season and then the semis. And their running back was committed to Michigan, Caper Stokes. I think he was a 3-star. He was great, very fast, strong, agile. I think I had 12 tackles on him, but pre-game we were watching the film. He's a baller. But I never had fear. Like I'm never scared on the football field. So, but it was great competition to be able to play against a guy like that, especially like last year being with how young I was. It was a great battle. Somehow he was always coming to me full speed. I don't know how, but I think I had 12 tackles on him the first game, and then I had 9 on him in the playoffs. But it was great. He was quick. Like it was hard stopping, but yeah, it's a great fight.
Are you going to be able to? Because I know your dad told us he's going to get up to at least one game this fall.
Yeah.
You know,
100%.
You getting up to a game this fall?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely.
Have you targeted which game? Have you been like buzzing in his ear, like, "Hey, we might need to go check out this Clemson game"?
I don't know which one we're gonna go to. It's we also got to figure it out. Like because I'm at like a Raven Gap's a boarding school, okay. So kind of with their like policy, like can I leave on weekends? I'm not sure how it works yet because I'm not there. But I know they'll let us go. I just got to figure it out. Like what's best.
Have you gotten a chance to connect with any of the team up where you're going yet? Like, how is that relationship molding into a new, environment? Because that's boarding school a little different now.
Yeah. I when we went and visited, I met a few of the guys who were awesome. They all followed me on Twitter and stuff like that, Instagram, added me on Snapchat. And then when I went to my Clemson camp, when I still hadn't decided where I was going, they were there. Coach Derek, who's the head coach there, brought the whole team to Clemson in a bus. So I got to reconnect with them. They're super supportive, great people. And then when I announced it on Twitter, immediate, retweets, replies, likes, and then I got added to the group chats, and I've been able to connect with them really well. And it's a super cool dynamic at Raven Gap because you've got like Germans, you've got everyone. There's a kid from Senegal, I think, that's coming who's committed Power 5, never played a down of football. It's crazy. And I think I know everyone on the team, and then I get another follow on Twitter, and it's great. I'm still learning everyone's names and getting to know them, but I'm super excited. They've been so supportive ever since I committed, even when I wasn't. Yeah.
What's some of the teams that you guys are going to face on your schedule? Some of the top teams in Georgia.
First game, we play Baylor in Tennessee. Another boarding school who's great. That'll be a great game. That's home. We play Sequoia, 6A Georgia team. We play Providence Day, who's great. Charlotte Christian, who's great. I think I would say those are top four.
Oh, so you're gonna get a chance to go up against 2024 tight end commit Jack Larson this season, huh?
Yeah. Oh, he's at Charlotte Catholic.
Charlotte Catholic.
Yeah. I wish I could play him. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah,
I have a few friends that go to his school. I don't know him personally.
Oh, wow.
I think that'd be great.
Man, I mean, the competition is probably the most elite in Georgia football. What's the competition like for you? Is that what you expect on the college level, to be playing competitive games every week? Because not every school does that.
Yeah.
Like kind of something that kind of went to my decision was I want to go to a place where it can prepare me best for college football, and I don't think it gets any better. I'm boarding, like I'm not home at my house. I'm in we got 2-a-days, fall camp, all this. I think it's super special to be at a school where we're not afraid to play a national schedule, and our coach has that much faith in his players to where he can, send us up. We got teams coming. I think we play a team from Jacksonville. Our coach isn't scared to send us to Georgia and go play a 6A team. I love the confidence he has in us, and he knows how great we are. And it's awesome. Just, it's really going to prepare me for college. I'm in an environment where everyone there is, some of these kids come from Germany. They're there for one reason only, and it's I want to make my family proud. I want to play college football, try and get to the NFL. So just being surrounded by kids like that, you're in such a winning environment. that it's only going to help me. It can't possibly hurt. So that's kind of how I attack it. Like it kind of feels like I'm going to college already. Like I'm leaving my family in Charleston. But that's what I wanted.
So 6'5", 200. You probably really just started hitting the weights. Man, are you going to be able to stick at wide receiver? You might end up.
You have to move around a little bit.
Yeah. I've been training a lot. Kind of my main thing right now is hip dropping, really like sticking, getting off one foot and planting. I've been getting a lot better. Since my camp ended in June, I've been working every day, basically, sometimes twice a day to perfect that. And so it's gonna be a little different. I really just kind of got to my height. I sprouted in a year. I think last year I played at 6'3" or 4, and then I'm a clean 6'5" now. I've been putting weight on. I've been working out. Kind of still really growing into my body.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's 100% been my most important thing to attack in this off season was I want to get stronger and I want to get quicker, more agile, get out of my breaks. At receiver, timing's everything. Especially when you're playing big competition and I can't get out of my breaks in 3-4 steps. I need to be precise. So yeah.
Can you hoop?
I can hoop.
Oh,
I can hoop. I didn't play this year, but funny story. Me and my friends made a AAU team as a joke. Like we made jerseys and all this, and I balled out.
Okay.
Now I just want to let you know if you end up in Notre Dame, the competition on the hardwood on that on that football team is.
Oh, I know.
It's elite.
It's a lot of trash talking that goes on.
More than on the football field. Absolutely.
So before we let you go, today is For the Culture Friday on the Lucky Lefty podcast. And when you work out, give us your top 5 songs. If you had only 5 songs to go on this workout in your headphones, give me the 5 songs to get you through that workout.
I've got to say Hot Now by NBA Youngboy.
Okay.
Youngboy fan.
I gotta really think about this.
Youngboy's gonna be on everybody's top 5.
Yeah, everyday love, man. Your generation loves Youngboy.
Loves some Youngboy.
We talking like squats?
Man, whatever.
It's whatever you turn it on. Whatever's gonna get you to do the best weight.
I'll go Heating Up, little baby.
Okay.
Masterpiece, the baby. That's a good one.
Okay.
I like that he's really thinking about this.
I got to. I got my playlist is there.
Well thought out young man. He really thinking.
He said his playlist is pretty big, so to give us a top 5.
You might be like LeBron, a hip hop historian.
I'm trying to think. I got to put another Youngboy song in there.
Go ahead.
That's what
if I'm working out hard, I gotta have stuff like that in my ears. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I gotta have that. I gotta have that rap. I'll go Slime Belief by NBA Youngboy. That's a classic.
Okay.
And then we'll go Puffin' on Zooties by Future.
It's only right. He's from Georgia.
It's only right. You got to throw the Atlanta rapper in there.
Well, Marshall, continued success, man. Safe travel as you head up to your new high school with you and your brother. We hope both of you have fantastic seasons, health and prosperity. And we'll be talking to you down the line and looking forward to watching you bloom as a player and watching your recruitment over the next couple of years, man.
Sure.
Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Absolutely. That was Marshall Pritchett. Marshall Pritchett, 25, athlete.
Is that a guy that they say, one of those guys that they say he gets it?
He gets it. He gets it. And, watching the comments, during the interview, We thank you, the line of questioning we wanted to take with him and just give him an opportunity to really put himself out there and talk about his development as a player. He's a really, just talking to him leading up to booking the interview, you definitely get that it's a kid that understands.
He's just prepared for the moment.
Yeah, like going to the camps, not taking a rep for granted, not allowing his name to be before. Like they said in Zenith, the quality goes in before the name goes on. And he's about the grind. He's about the work. And then later on down the line, the name will speak for itself. He camped at Clemson. He camped at Michigan. He camped at Notre Dame this spring and summer. He's on the radar. Like I said, 25 kids. So an offer for him might not be coming into the next set of pot of gold that goes out in the spring. But 6'5", 200, and he's still growing into his body.
Yeah, I think what's crazy is that, he's a kid that has the ability, but then you also got to think he has the backup and support from a dad who's been there, done that. And I think he's a kid that's taking it the right way. Like, you wouldn't really know he had a dad that was so impactful with him because he's just got in himself. But to know that he's steered in the right direction and he listens to his dad, and he's influenced and impacted by his dad a lot, it makes, like we all felt on the chat and in the group chat and on the podcast that we're like, man, this kid feel like he's one of us already, and I think that just shows how locked in and focused the whole group is. And, I won't be surprised to see him in the top rankings when it comes time. He's just an early kid, but he's so damn big, you would think he's ready right now.
Yeah, like you said, unranked. He's run very well. Hit the film and the highlights I saw from the Clemson camp, he was putting in work, at wide receiver, and had a really good camp at Notre Dame. And he's the type of person that you can already tell, like, dude, while everybody else is resting, he's going to do everything he can to put in that work.
That's right.
Like, look at this. Like, dude, how old is that kid? I don't know what's on his birth certificate, but the dude is going into his sophomore year of high school.
15, 16, and man, just ridiculous.
Once again, 6'5", 200, and just started hitting the weight.
I don't know what he gonna have to play defense after a while.
Well, he's already playing safety. Like I said, he's an athlete. He started at safety as a freshman.
Some guys and some kids,
and he started at quarterback. Think about that.
Some
quarterback to wide receiver is a really smooth transition. You look at Avery Davis, his transition from quarterback to wide receiver. Andre Reed, Hall of Fame wide receiver. He was a high school quarterback and transitioned to wide receiver late in his high school career.
But it always happens in reverse for, guys like that. You look at Ryan Tannehill, happened in reverse. He went from receiver to quarterback.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So I guess that happens these days for certain people. But
I guess that connection is,
we still go from inside out. They go from outside in.
Outside in. So happy Jaden Greathouse Day.
That's right.
You saw us the other day. I think he's the dude. Like,
I think so too. I've been watching.
He's a dude. From a mentality standpoint, he's a dude. And, it's official. You know what I mean? He is Notre Dame. And we pretty much, we knew he was Notre Dame for a couple of weeks. You know what I mean? But it's official today.
With him being committed, I'm telling you, Tyler Buckner is running out of excuses.
Look,
he running out of look. You about to be like, look, it is nothing. You have everything and more.
Yes.
Success can come to you so easy.
Yeah.
Because we done out recruited everybody.
Yeah.
This is if anything, for a quarterback to develop and for all the narratives to stop. Tyler Buckner has everything in front of him to be what he needs to be for the program, for himself,
Yeah.
and for a lot of reasons to prove we can develop a guy. Because with Jaden Grayhouse, how do you lose?
Yeah.
Him, Styles, Mayer in there. I mean, you got everything and more. So,
Give me your top as we get ready to get out of here for the Culture Friday. We'll talk a little bit more about Jaden Grayhouse and get some quotes from him and his commitment on Monday. Give me your top 3 units on the Notre Dame squad this year. Top 3 units. Like, give me these are the 3 units that will be elite.
O-line.
You putting them 1 or no particular order?
1.
Okay.
I still believe that's the biggest strength on our team.
Okay.
And in some cases, it should be. The second group, linebackers. Just because I think it's just the expectation now at this point. Marcus Freeman put a lot of time and effort. He's a former linebacker, so I think he's expecting his group to be the peanut butter and jelly of the team. So my expectations is for the linebackers to be in there. And then the last group is a running back group. I think a fully healthy running back room with that offensive line is going to secure 9 victories this year for sure. For sure.
I'm going to agree with 2 out of 3, but I'm going to, I like to go out on a limb. I just like to be different.
Don't tell me who I think it is.
No. I'm going to go linebackers at number 1 for me.
Okay.
I just think on this roster from top to bottom, the linebackers.
It's a linebacker. Yeah, that just stand out.
That's the best talent on the roster, the linebackers. Number 2, I'm going to go running backs. No, I'm sorry. My number 2 is offensive line. I'm bugging.
That's right.
Offensive line. I go linebacker, offensive line. But then this is where I think certain players take the next step. I'm putting the safeties at number 3.
I think that's the group that'll show the most development.
I think the youngsters are going to take that next step. They had time on the field last year. I think the combination. I think Houston Griffin is going to play a lot better next to Brandon Joseph.
Yep.
And I explained that reason about a month ago.
And now they're deep too.
And they're deep. And I think they're going to be asked to do different things with a different understanding. You know what I'm saying? It's like sometimes you're asked to do things and you just do it because that's what you're being told. But now when you have an understanding of why you're really doing it, now that just you play even freer.
Yeah.
Right?
And I think, with that we do have like what the receivers want to build in the starting 5.
Yeah.
All our safeties are good in a particular safeties and DBs are good in particular different areas. You got Jaden Mickey, that's your like Job Morant.
Yeah.
You got Brandon Josephs like your Chris Paul, Cam Hart's like your LeBron type player.
Mm-hmm.
You got a lot of different qualities. And then you got a Tariq Bracy who can really, be a tweener, can really handle some stuff inside for you.
Yeah.
And then you got your rugged guys like Xavier Watts, who's he's a specialty guy, put him in run situations. He's flying downhill, so I think the mix of how they use the safety position as well as the fact that they have a lot to improve on and to show people. What they put on tape last wasn't the best showing.
Yeah.
Fortunately for them, you have the ultimate test the first game.
Yeah.
So you can prove right away that y'all been putting in work. You don't have to waste no time.
No.
Every rep is going to count leading up to that first showing to see if y'all can give us a better showing in that Fiesta Bowl.
Yeah. So let's go through it. What's the best outcome for the quarterbacks?
They decide a starter early in camp. They run the ball 60% of the time, and Tyler Buckner gets a shot to throw the ball down the field more than what people would think.
The
I
running
think
back.
I'm going crazy. I'm saying 60% running, 30% deep balls, and then 10% RPOs. I don't think he should throw nothing other than deep stuff. Just because I think that'll just change the dynamic of the offense.
What's the best for the running backs?
The best for the running backs, they stay healthy because that seems to be going to be an issue.
Yeah.
The second thing is I want to see how Dylan McCullum rotates them backs. I want to see that you need to be able to have a nice strategy on when guys need to be in the game. I think there's a time for Logan to be in the game. I think there's a time for Aldrich to be in the game. So doing that at the right time in the game is going to help Tyler Buckner.
What's the best for the O-line?
The best for the O-line, listen to Heastan.
That's all. Just listen and learn, and you'll be fine. And then to close it out, what's the best for the wide receivers and tight ends?
Man, somebody got to be a leader in that receiver room and be the it factor, be the guy that is going to demand attention from defensive coordinators. I don't think any of our receivers right now are threatening. Like, I'm not going to sleep having nightmares about any of our receivers right now. Not that they don't have the ability, I just don't get the threat from them. So, get some threat about the receiving group. Have somebody that you like, damn, they, Oklahoma, for instance, has CD Lamb in there. And I know it's like, we may not know everything about that receiver room, but we know we got CD Lamb. So we need something like that in the receiver room so that other teams can know that y'all just can't go out there and play as man all day on third down.
Lucky Lefty Podcast. Thank you, everyone that joined us today. Brought to you by Onora Whiskey. OnoraWhiskey.com, that premium American whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com. We look forward to next week having another great former Notre Dame quarterback on that has his hands in some of the best wine to come out of the vineyards in Northern California. It's going to be great to be able to chop it up with one of the greats at Notre Dame. You know what time it is.
Petticoat. Petticoat Junction.
It's time to get petty.
Oh, we did a good job executing.
Are you upset with something?
And fire up the Petticoat Junction train.
I just don't like you.
You don't?
No.
What is today's petty historic? Petty Junction.
Petty Junction, petty stories of the day, each and every day. Lucky Lefty Podcast, brought to you by Onora Whiskey. Hey, bro, the Phoenix Suns are mad petty, and let me tell you why. They could have given this man his money last year. They could have given DeAndre Ayton his money last year. Why are we going through all of this restricted free agency? You're on mute, bro.
Now they can't get KD.
Now they can't trade him into January. They basically DeAndre Ayton called their bluff. It's like, who else were they gonna get? Bismack Biyombo?
Yeah, it's like who could you even get? You had to pay because he's not the greatest, but he's damn near. It's a drop off if you don't get nobody.
It's dumb. But once again, anytime you have these type of beefs between team and player, I guarantee you Chris Paul is somewhere in the midst.
You think so?
Dude, CP3 is At first, it was Blake Griffin and the Clippers. CP3, right? Then it was Capella and the Rockets. CP3. Now it's DeAndre Ayton. He's a problem in the locker room. CP3 is always, man, this banana boat crew, bro.
Yeah, LeBron be killing me, man. LeBron be killing me. So yeah, the only person that's not like that is Melo. And I got a perfect example of him. Melo was asked, "You want to play with your son?" He said, "Nah, man, I ain't about to."
Hey,
He didn't even let him think about it. He said, "Nah, I'm gonna let it pass on to him."
Melo's son is nice.
Is he nice?
Yeah. I saw him on a circuit this summer, and he was laughing at cats. That's when you know you starting to believe in your game. When you jab stepping cats, shooting over them, and then you laughing running down the court. And then Melo was on the sideline talking trash.
Yeah.
With them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, if I had to bet of the three, Bronny, Bryce, and Lil Melo.
Bryce is the nicest one.
Bryce is definitely the better product. Bryce sweet, yo.
Bryce sweet. It's like he don't even try. He don't even try.
And his impersonation of his pops is spot on too.
Oh man, like he's more like LeBron than Bronny.
Yes,
way more like Bryce is LeBron.
Yes.
And I think somebody got to tell LeBron like, look, Bryce is the one to focus on.
Right, he's like LaMelo to the Ball family. Like it's not Lonzo.
Like
it's not Lonzo.
Yeah, Lonzo is way more like LaMelo. I mean, like Alonzo. Right. I mean, like Bronny is way more like Lonzo.
Yes.
And Bryce is, I wouldn't even say he's more LaMelo. Bryce is LeBron.
Right. Right. Even in
his
height, you can see he's going to be taller.
He's going to be taller. I mean, he just got the whole, long like LeBron.
Yep.
The dunk look just like, I mean, he is LeBron. Bronny is like, I'm trying to play out of my dad's shadow. Everybody think I'm my dad. So I'm trying to get my own game kind of thing. Bryce is like inherited LeBron everything. Like I think he's gonna be the best one, but that's a hot take.
I will say this though. Melo's son, bro, I might put him over Bron.
He nice like that?
Bro,
you don't be hearing the social media go crazy over Melo's son yet.
Yes, dude. Just I'm telling you, look at his highlights from this summer.
He went crazy.
Man, he can shoot that thing, boy. He can shoot that thing.
Yeah.
He already has the Melo jab step down.
Oh, okay. So you know he got that. He going a long way.
Yeah. So it's like, okay. Okay, and he's already tall. He's gonna be tall like Melo.
Yeah.
Long arms.
Man, I can't wait for that generation of basketball to come where all
that's gonna be a fun generation to watch.
Players, their sons and shit. Yeah, that's gonna be hard.
That's gonna be a fun generation to watch. Just talking to Marshall right now, and I literally watched his dad win a national championship. Being able to talk to him today, that was crazy. That's different. Lucky Lefty podcast. Thank everyone for joining us today, man. We'll talk more Jaden Greathouse. Well, we've been talking about him all week because we knew what was coming. But we'll talk more in depth with Jaden Greathouse. I'm sure Malik will probably have him on IPC next week.
Yeah, might have him, yeah. We try to get the quarterbacks on IPC, man. Trying to get Angeli on, man. Talk to our guy Angeli, man. See if
I like Angeli. I like Angeli. I do. I like him. And we talk to you guys Monday. Have a great weekend. Make sure you spend it different.